Jason Whitlock says, and I quote, Kobe was right and I was wrong. What was Kobe right about? And what was Whitlock wrong about? This should be interesting. What's up, everybody? It's Coach Kev. Ongoing saga. Another story to tell. A superstar NBA player asking for a trade, demanding a trade, not wanting to play for the team that he is with because of contract issues. Jimmy Butler, the new star of this saga, he wants out of Miami, doesn't want to play for the Heat anymore, wants to be traded, wants a new contract. The Heat are not giving him a new contract. So Jimmy Butler is doing everything that he can to get his ass kicked out of Miami. Jason Whitlock somehow brings this around to Kobe Bryant. He sprinkles in a little Shaq talk in it as well. Let's see how Jimmy Butler and this Miami Heat situation pertains to Kobe and Shaq. Mr. Whitlock, it's on you.
That's everything that's wrong with professional athletics, particularly the NBA right now. The players make too much money. Their word isn't bond. And look, they'll sit. You know what? In the NBA, they got guaranteed contracts. So the money comes to them. They can't even make the claim that NFL teams, well, they'll cut you and blah, blah, blah. But there's no loyalty. Your word means nothing. An agreement means nothing. You pick and choose when you want to play hard. They don't care. They've made so much money. It's monopoly money. They couldn't care less about fans. They couldn't care less about competition. This was an incredibly bad look, I think, for the NBA. Just having this discussion, it just brings more light to how entitled these athletes are.
It was. Look, I completely disagree with the big illogical here, but
do you agree with Whitlock? Are today's NBA players entitled? Do all they care about is the money? They don't care about the fans, don't care about winning. They just care about getting paid. Is that really this new era of NBA players? And is that the main thing on their minds and their main goals when it comes to playing in the NBA? What are your thoughts on that? I think he's being too harsh, but I think he is headed in the right direction with that thought pattern. This generation of NBA players are not the same as the early 2000s, even the 2010s, 2015s, like around that time. The winning, yes, I think they still want to win, but the money plays a lot. They want to get their money. They want to be comfortable. They don't want to be told what to do. They want to do their own thing, and they want to get millions upon millions and millions. And if the fans complain, whoever complains, they can care less because they just want to do what they got to do to put themselves in the best position to be successful and to get paid.
That right there, that exchange, that 2.5-minute clip we showed, I don't know what game TNT aired last night. I guarantee you it was more entertaining than the game. I love that exchange. That's why Inside the NBA is the best part of that league. How many other shows are going to have that blunt of a discussion? And as much as I disagree with Shaq, he has a right to his opinion. I love the fact that even Ernie, who's Mr. Switzerland, said, "Are you out of your mind?" But here's the thing, though, and where I do appreciate Shaq saying what he said, as much as I disagree, Jason. His remarks are emblematic of today's NBA, and I'm glad someone expressed it so someone can push back, because you know the media is not going to do it. They coddle these guys. And Shaq himself is that guy. As someone who lived through the Lakers dynasties, who's now a fan in recess, there was a point where Shaq one time delayed surgery. So he was late to camp. He didn't play early. He didn't start to get going till February of that season, which pissed off Kobe Bean Bryant. And Shaq's explanation for delaying the surgery was, well, that's my summer, and that's company time. Company time! With what they're paying athletes nowadays, there is no such thing as company time. And also, Jason, I believe it was the preseason of his final year as a LA Laker. So that had to be 2003, 2004. I think he got the sense that the Lakers are going to move on without me. Kobe is going to be their future. I'm on borrowed time. When we had that discussion, Jason, a couple of weeks ago, is Shaq a top 10 player? that underlying attitude, that right there is, in my view, what keeps him out. He did not maximize his ability because of that attitude.
That's been the story, or that was the story of Shaq's career, saying that he was lazy, didn't always give 100%. Once Kobe continued to get better and better, Kobe demanded more from Shaq, and Shaq wasn't willing to give Kobe more. Always had maximum talent, always was the biggest, the strongest, but when it came to after hours, working hard on your game, continue to develop different aspects of your game, Shaq didn't want any part of that. He wanted the lifestyle, the party, the LA style. The winning comes with it, but just because he was so dominant, so big, and just so naturally gifted. But if he really, really worked hard on his game, he could arguably be top 3 players of all time in the NBA. So I totally agree with what he's saying.
And Shaq, you do realize that you would be in the GOAT conversation if you didn't have Jimmy Butler's attitude.
Well, what's that line from Bronx Tale from Robert De Niro's character? There's nothing worse in life than wasted potential. And look, from a Lakers perspective, when we look at the legacy and you look back, when Shaq left, it left the Lakers from top of the mountain to the bottom of Death Valley, and it was tough. And Kobe had to carry the whole load with Smush Parker, Chris Mim, and a bunch of parts. It didn't work out, and it looked hopeless. And in the beginning, it looked like, we hitched our wagon to the wrong horse. Because remember, Shaq ended up winning a title in his second year in Miami. And that became the big thing, is who was more important, Kobe or Shaq? Did the Lakers make the right decision? Fast forward, starting with that Pau Gasol trade in the 07-08 season, where they made 3 straight finals, winning 2, I can guarantee you the overwhelming majority of us Laker fans said we made the right choice. We got the guy that was younger, but was also more passionate, and this is the key word, professional. It matters.
And I have to admit,
that's the elephant in the room. What would have happened if the Lakers traded away Kobe and kept Shaq? Would they have won? I can't even play in hypotheticals. I don't know. But all I know is that, like he said, keeping Kobe was the best thing for the Lakers. That mentality that he has, that Jordan-esque mentality, he was going to figure out some way to win, some way to be successful, some way to bring the Lakers back to championship level. And not only did he do that once, but he did that twice, and he did it back to back. Great decision by the Lakers. I don't know if Shaq would have done that if he would have stayed, but I think the Lakers made the right decision. Arguably the GOAT, arguably the second best player behind Michael Jordan, keeping the late, great Kobe Bryant.
I was wrong, because in real time, when all that was going on, I was always on Shaq's side.
Yeah.
Always. Any riff I had with Kobe, it really started there, because I thought he should have handled Shaq in a different way. And thought he ran him out and thought he should have babied and pampered Shaq a little bit more. But in retrospect, I was wrong and Kobe was right. And the Lakers did make 3 finals, win 2 championships without Shaq, and Kobe was right. He's like, hey, man, turn this thing over to me like the Chicago turned things over to Michael Jordan, put the piece around. Kobe was right. I was wrong. Shaq is wrong here.
All right, so what do you guys think? What do you think about these generation of NBA players, like I said earlier? Do you think it's okay for them to demand trades when they're having contract issues, when they're not feeling comfortable or whatever the case be in their situation? Or do you believe that if they sign a 5-year contract, they should play out that 5-year contract? They sign a 2-year contract, they should play out that 2-year contract. Also, on the flip side, if they sign a 5-year contract, the teams can trade them before the contract ends as well. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like the teams should have the ability to trade them and get rid of the players whenever they want to? It's both sides of the fence. What do you feel about this generation of NBA basketball when it comes to contract, superstars, do superstars have too much power? Do the owners still have too much power? Are the superstars and the NBA players getting closer to the ownership and starting to show that, no, we control our situation more and we want to be financially stable and whatever the case may be? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. This generation is different. It's a new era. The ownership used to be like this. The players used to be down here. Slowly, the players' control and power starting to be up here and get a little closer to the ownership. They're starting to demand what they want. If they want to be traded, they're getting traded. If they want a new contract, they're getting a new contract. Whatever the case may be, they're trying to get more control over their careers. I'm not mad at it. It's a new part of life, and we just got to adapt and understand that. How do you guys feel about that? At the end of the day, when it comes to contract, each his own, and each one is different. Each one comes with different parameters and different issues. If you feel like your time is up on a team and you want to move on, you got to figure out to do it as professionally as you can. And you try your best to do that on both sides of the fence when it comes to the owner and the player. Just figure out a way to just try to get everybody's best interest solved and have everybody hopefully end up where they want to end up being. Till next time, this is Coach Kev, and I'm out of here.